And then my all-time favourite kit of the entire event,
Wow.
World Cup kit, World Cup #1 is...
Hi everybody, welcome back to the latest video on the channel. Today we welcome you to the world's most expensive jumble sale, the hits and misses of the World Cup. Dread to think just how much value's worth of shirts Subside Sports have given us to at least look after for the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, because he's definitely not giving them away, but I think he has got something up his sleeve, but we'll get onto that
Yeah,
later.
stay tuned for that because there is going to be a little bit of a giveaway at the end of this one as well. But the intent of what we're going to do today is we are going to talk you through some of the hits and misses of the shirts for the World Cup. We'll also tell you which ones are our favourites in our obviously highly expert opinion, entirely objective. And
Top
not at all.
5, I think we said.
Yeah, we'll do
didn't
top 5. There might be a little bit of crossover in them and a little bit of divergence as well in some of those. So, yeah, we'll get stuck into it.
Yeah.
I think before we get fully started, I would also like to say that we have got some in-depth reviews of some of these kits as well on our Patreon channel. So if you click on the link below, you'll be able to have a look at that and see what other amazing features we offer in that, exclusive insights that you won't find anywhere else on the internet. But for now, let's get stuck into this lot.
Yeah, well, I guess the first one I'd want to start with is Portugal. They've done quite an interesting job of the graphic. The replica shirt, in my mind, is not great.
It's nasty. It's not even that good. It's
But
nasty.
I quite like the fact that it's highly contrast, but I think it's a forgettable shirt, not brilliant. And the fact that it's probably Ronaldo's last World Cup ever, not overly keen on that one. I do like the Korean kit that Nike have done. I think it's really quite nice. Nice execution of the badge. I quite like the neckline. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I am not a fan of this shape. It definitely feels like the badges and the crests have been shoved down the shirts.
Even though we're reliably informed that they haven't, the
Yeah,
line
but
just gives the impression of
It,
that.
it,
at
it
least.
does, but look, we're going to get into the top 5 in a minute. This hasn't quite made it for me, but I think it's a great looking shirt. And what's also quite nice is the Mexico shirt, which I really quite like. This is the replica that we've got. Adidas have done a great job with the print. It's a placed print as well, so from a replica perspective, I think actually that's good value for money.
Yep.
And I like the little neckline detail at the back. Going back to Korea, this is one that's...
Is this in your top 5?
No, it's not.
Been a lot of talk about it online.
There has been, and I can understand why. But look, at the end of the day, it comes down to personal preference, and it's not mine. Is it something you want to hang on to? Is it in your top 5? No? Well, there you go, kids. But yeah, not a bad looking kit at all. Nice little references to Korean nationality and all that sort of jazz, so that's not too bad. Right, where do we start with these guys? Look, at the end of the day, I absolutely adore Puma. I've spent a lot of my career working for them, love the brand, but at the moment, I'm not keen on what they're doing in football. I love the guys who work there. I love the brand, as I say, but for me, they're just not doing it. You know, we spent time in one of the stores when we were out travelling, and they had all the World Cup shirts on offer with this interesting graphic on the front. And again, much like the graphics that they did with City on and all the rest of it.
It's like they've run out of ideas.
Yeah, and the branding is a bit all over the place, so very forgettable.
If you're going to give that a score out of 11, what we're saying?
That particular shirt, I'd
Yeah.
probably give it 1. Belgium, love the Belgium kit, love the fires up the arms. This is the authentic kit from Adidas. I think it's really nice.
Kudos to the Belgian Football Association as well for signing off on such ambitious designs.
Yeah, absolutely, but still hasn't made it into my top 5, but not bad.
Surely England will. You're English and you love England.
Yeah, okay, so let's get started on this then.
So is this the Asda one?
Is this the Asda one? So, look, I'm sorry, but I am not a fan of it at all. If it was me, I'd have took the graphic and I would have done it the other way around. This is one that really feels like the badges are dropping off it. This is the replica. But look, at the end of the day, right, if England do really well in this kit, it'll go down in the history books as one of the nicest kits ever. But what's interesting about this is if you actually turn the kit round the other way and then you were to have put the badges on, it might have been slightly better. you know, because there's a bit more space, but they've obviously done that because of the names and stuff. But it just comes...
Just feels a bit disjointed.
Yeah, so I'm not a massive fan of that at all. So that's definitely not made it. Portuguese away, didn't make it. Croatia, love this actually. Still hasn't made it, but I love what Nike have done with the graphic, how it kind of comes down on the arms. It's quite nice. And
It's almost like that's what the England shirt wanted to be and didn't have the bottle to do it.
Yeah. But I think this template works when it's all tonal. Or
it's blended
not,
at least.
Yeah, so it's not bad at all. Nigeria, love this kit, absolutely love it. I think what Nike have done with the Federation of Nigeria is great. Again, you don't even see the cut lines in the template here. The badge application is lovely. Loads of really nice little details.
Yeah.
Love that. But I've got to say, Rob, I am conscious that I've never stopped talking, mate, so I'm going to let you talk through some before I start losing my voice.
Awesome. Right, well, I've got a bit of a pile of Adidas shirts here. So, Argentina, pretty good, straight up and down, what you'd expect. I feel like Adidas could have put a bit more effort into this detail down the sides like they have with other teams.
Yep.
But that said, I do love the gold doubloon on the back there. It would make me feel like a successful pirate if I had that.
Yeah.
But
I like the striping detail on that before.
Yeah, that's true, actually. The stripe on the back where it's a bit thinner is really interesting.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Like that.
Not sure where it's come from, but yeah, provides something a bit different. Germany away, I really like this. I think it feels, as we've seen with a lot of the graphics that Adidas have done for the tournament, it feels very much in keeping with the nation that they're designing for. So quite Germanic in its way, very structured.
Nice colours.
Sophisticated,
really
nice colours. So not in the top 5, but definitely a good shirt. USA. Oh, I don't know, it's an American shirt as you'd expect it to be. I mean, it's obviously got the more NFL type branding on the sleeves
I'm probably going to surprise you here. I actually really, really like it. I genuinely do. I think now, if you think of the template, it actually works really nicely with just the US in the middle. And I like the fact that the swooshes are on the arms. So from an American perspective, I know it's coming for some pelters, but I think you need to get your shit together and get behind that. I actually really like it.
Yeah, I do. I like it, but it is very American.
What
Next
about
up,
this one?
Is this the Cameroon shirt or is it not? That's the debate. That's not for us to settle. That will be debated in the courts. So it could have been Le Coq Sportif, supposed to be, apparently, and then it wasn't, and now it's this. And what this is absolutely ghastly. It says in the back, do more, be more. I mean, take a leaf out of your own book, because that is just crap. I've got a couple of my favourites here, so I'm going to stop short of them. This is dead nice, though. It's just got that sophisticated feel to it that we've seen throughout the Adi kits, whether that's through the badge applications, the graphic on the front, silver doubloon on this one. But
yeah, nice.
Generally super nice. We've got a Croatia one under here. I think given how awesome the Croatia away shirt is, this one falls a bit short. I kind of like that they've tried to do something a bit different with the checkerboard.
That's a federation, though, that, again, is really difficult to work with.
Oh, I'm sure.
Really, really difficult to work with.
I'm sure, but I feel like they've done more ambitious things than this in the past.
Yeah.
Having this as a base to work with is something that you could have a lot of fun with and create a lot of excitement, and it doesn't tell a story, it's just a bit different than it would be normally. Yeah. So, for that reason, it's not going to qualify for me. The Germans, it's good. It's a nicely put together shirt. I do love where they've actually got the 3 coloured detail down the side there, which
harks back to your Argentinian comment where they could have done a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. So this one is a lot better. It's got more detail, feels very Germany, but it's one where if you can get your hands on it, check out the neckline, etc. It is good. I'll let you talk about this one because I just can't bring myself to.
Okay, so look, we don't need to talk about it. There you go. That's Saudi. USA, again, away kit. What are we thinking?
Do you know what? I don't mind it, but compared to some of the graphics that we've seen, particularly from Nike, that have got a real purpose within them and make a statement, this just feels like a graphic. And I don't know if it is or not, if you've got more insight into that. But certainly compared to like France Away or some of the things that we've seen on the Adi kits, it's a nice graphic, but that seems to be all it is.
I think what we've heard through the grapevine is ultimately the US have got an identity that they want to engage with, and a lot of that is from American sports as well. So
Yeah.
I think that's why the stars and stripes and the centre chest and the references to other sports has been really important for them. I actually don't mind the US kits. I really
Yeah,
don't.
no, I
they're
like
getting,
it.
They're getting a lot of grief, and I actually think they're really smart. And that if I was a US fan, I mean, it's loud and proud.
It is.
You know, and I actually quite like what Nike have done with them. So, a bit controversial, I know, but I think they're getting a lot of
I like it. I just think there's so much culture that could have been used as the reference point for the graphic.
Yeah, because it is a really old country.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of stuff there that they could have gone at,
Right.
whereas this just makes me think of the wildfires in California, and that makes me feel sad.
So, Holland.
Well, interestingly, so Tom and myself, hi Tom. We were watching the Netherlands' first game at the World Cup, and my 7-year-old daughter, Amelia, came into the room and first of all checked if I had designed the kit or not, to which I said no. And she said, I don't like the orange one. And I asked her why, and she said, because it looks like they haven't coloured it in properly. And I can't see past that now, because it does look like they haven't coloured it in properly.
Well, it's actually a really close-up shot of the mane of the lion. That's the inspiration behind it.
Okay.
Again, I think it's one of those kits that when you see it on a hanger, you're a little bit sceptical of it. I actually think when it was on field, it looked actually really smart.
Yeah.
I quite liked it. But again, certainly not in the top 5.
No.
But,
And
yeah.
it does look like they haven't coloured it in properly.
Yeah, well, your daughter's always right.
Exactly, you can't argue with it. Right then, Japan third kit. It's really ambitious. I think the colour palette is super unique. Done in collaboration with artist and designer Nigo. It's good, but it could
Not
have
in the
been
top
that bit
5.
more special.
So here we are, top 5, Rob.
Oof.
I haven't quite decided what goes first and second. but
Normally,
what
I just kind of have a general 5 really good ones for me.
One of the shirts that I'm really impressed with, Rob, is what Marathon have done with Ecuador.
Yeah.
Not the hugest sports brand out there, but they have done such a lovely job of this.
Yeah.
It also looks fantastic on field.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot of detail in it. There's loads of different fabrications within it.
I didn't even notice that the first time with the little flag detail
Yeah.
at the end. Every time I pick it up, I feel like I spot something else.
Well, what I also thought was really nice is they've got this tiny little venting system, which, let's be perfectly honest, that's not going to do too much. But they've done such a nice little execution, and they've got a tiny little glossy crest in there as well. So, I mean, if I was getting that out of a bag and having to put it on and then go and play football in it, I would be absolutely over the moon.
Yeah, it's got the bonded detail in the back.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more about bonding and how that's evolved over the years, we've got a great video about it on our Patreon channel, so you can click the link below there to check that out.
Yeah, loads of really nice little details. They've even got a QR code, I think, on this one somewhere.
They have.
Which takes you directly to the...
Takes you directly to Ecuador. It's like
Yeah.
a magic portal.
Yeah, it's like-
Click that at your own risk. We can't guarantee you'll get back.
And then obviously they've got the Ecuador name in all the different languages and stuff. But yeah, I think that's a great kit. So that is probably the first within my top 5.
Yeah,
you agree
I'd have
with
that
that?
in my top 5 as well.
Right, okay, so that's one. Now, this is where we're really getting excited. So what comes in 4th for me is the French kits. And I can't rightly divide the two of them. So I'm kind of putting these together as...
Wow.
I absolutely adore this, but it's not quite made it to the top. And it's
Really?
really tough for us to say that, but there's just 2 kits that I absolutely love. But yeah, really like them. So they're definitely within the top 5.
Certainly the away one for me stands out as being
Right, so I'll tell you what, leave that away one over there and we'll get rid of the blue one.
keeping this.
Right, now, such a difficult decision, but for me, what come in second place was the Japanese home kit. Absolutely love this. It's a great badge execution. There's loads of little details on it. The fabric itself's lovely. They've done a really nice job of adding in details down the sides. I absolutely love that kit. And it is very Adidas. It's straight up and down. It's exactly what you would expect an Adidas kit to look like. But I absolutely love that.
I think particularly against the palette of what Adidas have done with everything else, it's nice to have something that it just feels right. It makes me think of Japan shirts.
Yeah. And then my all-time favourite kit of the entire event.
Wow.
World Cup kit. World Cup #1, the Mexico away kit. For me, that is just a sensational
top drawer,
piece
isn't
of
it?
artwork.
Top drawer.
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Well, that makes it into my top 5 as well. Me being somewhat more diplomatic than Craig, I haven't quite put them in order. I've just kind of got a 5 that I really like. The other 2 that are different than ones that Craig's pulled out both make a bit of a political statement. And as much as we've talked in other videos about keeping politics out of football, sometimes it's impossible, particularly when the World Cup gets awarded to a country that's got such an atrocious human rights record as Qatar. So I really love what Hummel did. I actually prefer the black one from a design perspective, which we unfortunately haven't got. But the fact that they've even done it on the home jersey where everything is tonal, the concept that they've come up with is we don't really want to be seen to be there, but we're going because it's football and we've got to go and represent our country, but we're going there reluctantly.
Well, what's really interesting, sorry to just interject there, at the time of recording this, the first game that they played in that, they've been forced to put their crest on the centre of the shirt.
Yeah.
If it is a case where it's been forced, I just think this is where this World Cup has just become complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah, it's farcical.
You know, it's an absolute farcical, and let's hope that we just get through this World Cup as quickly as possible and we just move on to the next one, because we just do not want to see a repeat of this.
No, it's just crap.
Hands.
When you think how far things have come, you know, in terms of the women's game especially, you know, the celebration of how women's footballers evolved and in a lot of countries now is becoming very mainstream. We've got a men's World Cup held in a country that would not hold a women's World Cup. They'd refuse to do it.
Yeah.
It's just bonkers.
Mental.
So for that reason, I love what Hummel have done. I think it's a really brave statement and I applaud them and the Danish Football Association for supporting that. I'll chuck that over there. And then this one, sadly, I haven't got the shorts with me, but I love the outfit as a whole. I'm fascinated to see what will happen when it gets worn on field in Qatar. I mean, it clearly denotes love. There's been some suggestion that that's going to have to be covered up, even though certainly in the vast majority of players, there will be a neck and a head covering it up.
I believe the replica version has got the love on the outside of the
Okay,
design.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that would only be visible on field if the players have made a strong inclusivity statement and have been beheaded before the match.
Yeah. The one thing that I would say, which I believe all of the brands have done a really good job of, is unifying the federations that they're playing with, being inclusive. You know, if you talk about the French kit, it's all been about uniting the different cultures that live in France. It's the same with Belgium, England. It was all about, you know, unifying the squad and getting them to play better. And I think, you know, certainly the big brands that we've talked about have paid homage to that whole unity. So I think the fact that we knew Qatar was going to happen quite early on, I think most of the brands have kind of made a stand to do it through the work that they've done on the kits. And I think fair play to them.
Definitely. There's been a lot of talk of people saying, well, you know, if you're that against it, don't go, don't play. And I don't think that's fair to put that on a footballer who's trained their whole life, may never get the chance to play at the World Cup again. It's not their fault. They wouldn't have chosen to put it in Qatar.
No.
But what they can do is show up there and make a brave statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do, despite FIFA's best efforts to cover it up just based on whatever Gianni Infantino decides he feels like on a particular day.
Yeah. Tom, can you just chuck us our kit back, please? So if this was our top 5 kits...
And Ecuador.
I think that's 6 now, but anyway, who's counting?
It's between 2 of us, that's only 3 each.
Yeah. So I think we've got great kits. And honestly, as much as I've designed World Cup winning kits as yourself have, I would say this has been one of the strongest World Cup designs of kits from all the different brands.
I think so.
And I think
credit look at some of the ones we've thrown off screen that haven't made the top 5 that
still
perhaps 12 months ago, or if they were club shirts, would have absolutely been getting rave reviews from us. Would you agree? Do you think this has been the best World Cup ever for kits? We'd love to get your feedback and thoughts on that below. Do you agree with the ones we've pulled out as being our favourites? Or do you strongly disagree? We'd love to know. We promised also at the start of the video that there would be a giveaway. So in the interest of inclusivity, the good guys at Subside Sports have offered a voucher that you can redeem against a shirt on their website. Full details of that will be in the description. So So follow the instructions there. Whilst you're down there reading those, click like, click subscribe, and definitely click that little bell so that you can get alerted to more reviews, more competitions, etc. And just in case the 2 other times I dropped the hint about the Patreon channel went in one ear and out the other, do have a look at that as well. We've got loads of exciting stuff in there, unique competitions, unique content, and loads of other good stuff. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching us, and we will catch you next time.
Very good, that.
Cheers, mate.
We've absolutely given Macron pelters in the past.
And worthy so, but marathon we've been quite impressed with.
Oh yeah, so I'll just start that again. So I'm going to have to totally change that dialogue, aren't I? Right.